Morning friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. In the previous video, we are discussing about the Blix and Kosla's theory. In this video, we are discussing about the storage and outlet works. Mainly in this video, we are discuss about the earthen dam. We are knowing that the dam is a hydraulic structure constructed across the river or a natural stream to create a reservoir for impounding of water. See in the picture is that is the one type of earthen dam. They are having some slope face, that is the abutment contact, toy drain and toy drain outfall, and that is the emergency spillway or auxiliary spillway. Spillway may be located on the right side or left side of the dam, or may also be uh, far from the dam location also. So the spillway location is depend on the elevation of bank and suitable discharge location where available. Now we are moving to classification of dams. How can we classify dams? Generally, we are classification according to use. We are classify the dam as per the three types like storage dam, diversion dam, and detention dam. Storage dams are constructed to store water during the rainy season. There is a large flow in a river, so the stored water is utilized later during the period when flow in the river is reduced. A diversion dam is constructed for purpose of diverting water of the river into the off-taking canal. One type of weir or barrage. It is the one type of diversion dam. Third is the detention dam. It is the dams constructed for flood control. A detention dam retards the flow of water in river on its downstream during floods by storing some flood water. The water retained in the reservoir is released gradually at controlled rate like Derby Dam. That is retain the flow or they reduce the velocity of flow. Now second thing, we also classify the dam according to the hydraulic design. One is the overflow dam and second is the non-overflow dam. Overflow dam is one which is designed to carry a surplus discharge over its crest. Its crest level is kept lower than the top of other portion of dam. And non-overflow dam is one of the which the top of the dam is kept at the higher elevation than the maximum expected HFL level. Like on that non-overflow type dam, water that cannot overtop this edge, and in the overflow type dam, water are overtop the its top edge. That is the one type of weir. Weir is the overflow type dam. Now, our today's learning objective is types of earthen dam, causes of failure, criteria for safe design, and section of earthen dam, seepage analysis, and the seepage control measures. We also classify our dam according to material. One type is the rigid type, and another is non-rigid type. In the rigid type dam, we are making a arc dam, steel dam, timber dam, solid masonry dam, and the concrete gravity dam. And in the non-rigid dams uh, are those which are constructed of non-rigid material such as north end or rockfill. They are relatively large settlement and deformation because it is not a rigid dam like earthen dam and rockfill dam. According to its structural behavior, we can classify into the 4 to 5 types like gravity dam, arc dam, buttress dam, earthen dam, and rockfill dam. That are the different types of dam that when we classify according to its structural behavior. Gravity dam are generally constructed and acting on the action of its weight and counterpart the other forces by its weight. An arc dam is transfer the load to its abutment, and a buttress dam are transfer the load to its foundation by incline supports. Next is the our topic is earthen dam. There have been three types of earthen dam mainly: roll fill dam, hydraulic fill dam, and semi-hydraulic fill dam. And in the hydraulic fill dam, the construction, excavation, and transportation of earth is done by hydraulic method. Means first the hydraulic placed dry slope has been constructed and it filled with the soil slurry. So it is the transportation make means by the hydraulic method. Method is that first we are building the outer edges of embankment and kept slightly higher than the middle portion of each layer, and in the middle we are creating the pool for creating the core. See in the picture is that is the homogeneous dam. In this type of dam no separate core is built. That is the sloping core dam. One of that is a thick sloping core dam, and that is a zone dam. It is a one type of example of hydraulic fill dam. In this type of dam, first the slopes are built gradually and then are filled a slurry of our soil content into that. In the homogeneous embankment type dam, some of that phatic line has been seen is here. This line is called phatic line. We are next discuss what is the phatic line. The sloping core dam also consists with the same way, like that is the thin core, rock, shell, and that are the filters. Filter means nothing but only the layer of rock are placed on the face of upstream side. So the erosion cannot take place the whole embankment. Next is the zone embankment type dam and diaphragm embankment type dam. Here previously is that is the zone embankment type dam. Next is the diaphragm embankment type dam. That is the impervious core. So the water cannot passes through that. So that section are only impervious, and that are the protection works, and that are the whole soil earth fill around them. That is called diaphragm embankment type dam. In this type of dam, the bulk of the dam is constructed of previous material, and the diaphragm is of impervious material. It is provided to check seepage. These dams are sometimes known as a thin core dam. The position of diaphragm may vary from center vertical core to the embankment directly on the upstream side face of the dam. And between this extreme position, there may be several intermediate position of diaphragm in which the inclined diaphragm sloping upstream may be provided. The inclined diaphragm is also sometimes known as buried blanket. Now we are discussing about some of the component of earthen dam and their functions. That is the impervious core. In that case, that is the impervious core. Next is the pervious shell. That are the previous shell, outer portion of the dam. Next is the filter. That are placed someone here. See in the picture is that are the filter. Rock toy. That are the one another embankment is created and built in with the rock. That is called rock toe. And upstream side slope protection. That are the upstream side slope protection. This protection is generally provided to protect the dam by that waving action and prevent the erosion of our upstream side sloping face. Next is the filter. That are the filter. It place someone here. So that type of portion we are seeing in the next images. So that is the filter. Different types of filter have been used to prevent minimize the erosion of our downstream side slope, because all the water are collected in filter and they are easily pass out through that nearly beneath the our slope portion, because the water are escaping through that portion, so there may be erosion and slugging of downstream side toe. Next is the causes of failure of the earthen dam. How the earthen dam is failure. So first we have to design, we have to understand that how the component is failed. Upstream slope failure due to sudden drawdown. We are seeing that if we are having a maximum amount of water stored in that dam, and that suddenly we are removing all the waters, that are failure. We are seeing in the previous how can the fail. Failure by excessive pore water pressure, and the downstream slope failure by sliding, failure due to settlement of foundation, and failure by sliding of foundation, and the failure by spreading. That are the different types of failure has been occur in the earthen dam. We can also classify mainly failure by three ways. One of that is a hydraulic failure, another is that seepage failure, and one another is a structural failure. Now see is that is the overtopping position. In overtopping condition, the erosion of downstream side has been take place or the totally dam is failed. That is called overtopping position. It is the gulling. Gulling means one type of erosion onto the earthen dam embankment. Erosion of upstream side slope by the waves. When the waves are generated, that are impact on the our earthen dam, and we are knowing that the soil materials are easily erodible with the waving action, and that upstream side slope is eroded. Erosion of downstream side toe. That is called toe erosion, because there have been lots of water are escaping from the downstream side toe. If the proper maintenance and care has been not taken, so the amount of water are escaping from that, and some of the soils are loose and slug from that position, and that are the erosion of downstream side toe. Next is the frost action. We are knowing that when the water are frozen, so their density is higher, or their volume may become higher at 4 degrees centigrade, and when it is converting to the frost, their volume may be decreasing to 20 to 30%, and and then again they are converting into the water, their volume may be another reduced. So there may be create the some of the capillary passages onto that our embankment section, and this create the cracks that are creating cracks, that is shear cracks, and different types of crack has been formed. That is the seepage failure. Seepage failure is that type of failure in which the velocity of the water are escaping to the downstream side of our earthen dam is higher than compared to safe exit hydraulic gradient. If our exit velocity is higher, that can carry our loosened material or soil material beneath the foundation, and the following passage become a larger and larger, larger and larger, and then large hole has been created, and large amount of water and soil are escaping from that, and that piping has been formed at that place. So it is called piping action also. There have been also one type of piping action, but in this video, that picture shows that there has been some pipe has been already placed, but that is not actually in pipe. But some of the water are escaping timely manners, and they are carrying some of the material with them and create the passage on the dam dam embankment. Slugging of downstream side toe. So that is called slugging of downstream side toe. Means some of the portion of that embankment may be liquefied. So when the soil is liquefied, see their shear strength is loose, and that portion of soil is slug. That is the failure due to tree roots. Some type of structural failure also due to tree roots. Next is the structural failure in which the foundation settlement. If the foundation is settled, so there may be cracks develop. Failure due to sudden drawdown. When the water level is that much and we are decreasing water level that much, so soil is saturated, and their hydraulic velocity, that are water moving from that side, generally moving water from that to that side due to hydraulic gradient, but we are sudden creating the sudden drawdown position, so there may hydraulic gradient become a zero. So then that create the vicinity. So water flowing from that side to that side. So the upstream side slope is fail. Foundation may be also failed by the liquefaction action. Liquefaction, whole soil mass are converted into the slurry, and that portion are not carrying that load over the embankment structure, and that may be fail. Failure due to earthquake, because due to standing action or the rigidity of our structure, that are acting momentum of the earthquake into a dam, and we all at a time of earthquake, the water are also moving with the wave action, and that are overtopping, and many types of failure has been created at a single time. Failure by spreading. If the material is not properly selected and all material are uh, percolated and they are converted into the liquefaction soil in the liquefaction, so all embankment are slug or spread. If a side slope is not properly maintained, then also the slope is totally fail. Failure due to damage caused by burrowing animal. In the some of the burrowing animal are creating the hole like mouse. Mouse are creating the hole through that dam and maybe weakening of this embankment, or the piping failure is created because there may be weakness in material, so all water are passes through them and the weakness is created. Now, gullying, overtopping, I already understand you. It is the why overtopping is done, because insufficient spillway capacity. One of the reason of overtopping is one insufficient spillway capacity, underestimation of design flood, faulty operation of spillway gate, insufficient freeboard, and settlement of embankment. The wave of water upstream of dam develops a roller which causes erosion. If proper protection in the form of riprap is absent, toe erosion occurs due to tailwater and cross currents that may be developed from spillway buckets. Next is the gullying. Downstream slab may erode due to formation of gullies like water drains, heavy downpour, that are the piping action. So there may be large hole has been created onto the dam. Slugging. So whole portion of the soil is slugged. Upstream side slope failure, failure by excessive pore water pressure, downstream side slope failure by sliding, their wage is totally slight due to not maintaining proper size slope. Failure due to damage by burrowing animals, failure due to presence of soluble salt present in foundation. Because when the water are percolate through that embankment, that salt are dissolved into that and that create the passage for large passage and weaken the foundation. Slope protection failure, like we have seen in the many dams, at the upstream side, the rock block has been spreaded and they cover the surface of upstream, but that not provided properly or that may be failed. So our upstream side slopes become a failure. By clogging spillway, sometimes the spillway may be clogged by floating debris like larger trees, roots, and any other materials that can carry with the flood and that are blocked with the particular materials. So water cannot easily passing and their water level increase and overtopping the dam. Criteria for safe design. How can we design dam as much that it can be acting safely? There may be four criteria mainly. Is that one of that non-overtopping, no seepage failure, no structural failure, stop protection, and the other remedial measures. In that mainly upstream and downstream phases are properly protected against the wave action, like the slope protection, one type of slope protection. There should be not be any possibilities of a free passage of water through the embankment or through the foundation. So seepage possibility we can minimize seepage possibility and protect our embankment. The foundation, abutment and embankment must be stable for all condition of operation. Like the structural failure has not become a done. The dam as a whole should be earthquake resistant. The dam is a earthquake resistance for getting the we have to provide the safe operating factor or construction factor to resist the earthquake. Now selection of earthen dam. How can we select the earthen dam? Main factor is the top width, freebore, casing or outer cell, center impervious core, cutoff range, and downstream side drainage system. And another factor like that is the topography, geology, and foundation condition, availability of construction material, spillway size and location, roadway, length and height of dam, life of dam, earthquake zone, and cost. That may be also important factor when we are selecting the dam. In the topography, the first choice of type dam is usually governed by the topographic side. A low rolling plains country suggests an earthen dam with a separate spillway and low narrow V-shaped valley suggests arc dam and a narrow stream flowing between high rocky banks would suggest the concrete overflow dam. Geology and foundation condition. All the forces acting on dam, including spillway size and location. Spillway is also important structure provided for dam to pass surplus water of the flood. It is an overflow portion of the dam. The size and the type of spillway are mainly decided by the magnitude of flood. To bypass it, location depends on the site condition. If the largest spillway capacity is required to be provided, an overflow concrete gravity dam should be preferred where the small spillway capacity is required. Next is the length of dam and height of dam. We are discussing like top width or the length and the height of dam. The length of dam is very long and its height is low, an earthen dam would be better choice. If the length is small and height is more, the gravity dam is preferred. Life of dam is also another important factor while considering the selection of type of dam. So, life of dam for concrete and masonry gravity dam higher compared to earthen and rock fill dam. Cost may also depend on the selection of type of dam. Earthen dam is the less costlier compared to any other dam. Uh, Top width are also important factor in that that is the picture of that earthen dam, like that is the dam crest control section, like the one type of spillway, that are the outlet for canal flowing, that is the bump, that is the guide bump, that is a morning glory spillway, one type of morning glory spillway, and that are the intact structures where water can enter into it or passing through them. Now top width. How can we select the top width? It is depend on the construction material, height of structure and the roadway. And the empirical formula for getting the top width is B is equal to Z by phi plus 3. Z is the uh, axis of inertia plus 3 for very low. Very low height, for very low height, we can use that formula. For lower dams, uh, with compared to lower to 30 meter and up to 5 to 30 meter, we can use B is equal to Z 0.55 Z raised to 1 by 2 plus 0.2 Z. We can also put our dam height directly into that formula, or we can also calculate that inertia height, and we can put in that formula also, because factor of safety are more important in case of dam construction. B is equal to 1.65 multiply Z plus 1.5 raised to 1 by 3 for higher dams if the height of dam is greater than 30 meter. A minimum width of 6 meter is required for maintenance so that the small truck can operate on it. Width may minimum 6 meter, and if our height is increases, top width may also increase. Bumps may be provided the dam which are more than 10 meter in height, and their width is kept as 3 meter. Freeboard. Freeboard is a vertical difference between the horizontal crest of embankment and the reservoir level. Normal freeboard means top of the crest to the normal reservoir level, and the minimum freeboard means top of the crest to the maximum reservoir during the flooding. USBR is one of the agency that suggests that minimum 2 meter and maximum 3 meter or maximum flood level. Casing or outer shell. The function of casing or impart stability and protect the core. The relatively pervious material which are not subjected to cracking on direct exposure to atmosphere are suitable for casing. As per IS 88261978 provides recommendation for suitability of soil used for earthen dam. We have also taken care that which type of soil is suited for designing the earthen dam. Center impervious core. The core is a pervious impermeable barrier with the body of the dam. So impervious core are generally suitable for core. However, the soil having a high compressibility and liquid limit and having a organic content may be avoided as they are prone to swelling and formation of cracks. We should have to recommended the following guidelines for the small dams, like the core may be located either centrally or inclined upstream. The minimum top width should be kept at 3 meter. The top level of core should be fixed at 0.5 meter above minimum water level. The slide slope may be kept at 0.5 gem1 and 1 gem1. The thickness of core at any section shall not be lesser than 30%. So, That are the recommendation of impervious core. We should place incline with the upstream side face or provide it centrally. Cut-off trench. To reduce the loss of stored water through foundation and abatement to prevent the subsurface erosion by piping, we are providing the cut-off trench. The following guidelines we have to adopt for a design of cut-off trench. It should be located such that its center line should be within the base of impervious core and should be upstream of center line of dam. The positive cut-off should be ed at least a depth of 0.4 meter into continuous impervious substratum or in erodible rock formation. A minimum bottom width of 4 meter is recommended. Side slope of at least 1 gem 1 or flatter may be provided in the case of overburden, while 1 by 1 half gem 1 and 1/4 gem 1 may be provided in soft rock and hard rock respectively. Cutoff in a flank on either side should normally extend up to the top of impervious core. Downstream side drainage system. Generally, multi-layer filter or inverted filter provided in which the subsequent layer becomes increasing coarser than the previous one. According to Tarzagi, the filter material should be fulfill the following criteria. D15 of the filter divided by D85 base material ratio of D15 by divided by D85. That are the one type of material parameters or the grain size distribution. We are already studied in soil mechanics is greater than 4 and not greater than 20 but less than 20. And D15 divided by D15 base material. D15 of filter and D15 of base material ratio may be less than 5. The gradation curve of the filter material should be nearly parallel to the gradation curve of the base material. D15 is a permeability protection limit and D85 is a piping prediction limit. So that are the two different materials we can use in the downstream side drainage system. I hope you are understanding these lectures very well and understanding what are the different type of earthen dam and their failure procedures and the prevention techniques. Thank you.